Oh, wow. So, hello, Uche. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Gosh, I can't believe you're all grown up. Happy New Year. I forgot.
Happy New Year. Yes.
2021. I just can't stop saying it. I'm so excited to see 2021 because, 2020 was, like one of those years everybody keeps saying that we've never lived through before. And,
Mhm.
like I was just saying, God, I hope this is the last that we ever see of 2020. So now it's gone, but we're still, talking about the lessons that we learned in 2020. So I wanted you to share some of the lessons that you learned in 2020.
Yeah, a lot, a lot of lessons, I think. But one thing is a lot of things in 2020 were just reinforced life lessons for me. Things that people have told me throughout my life that have always been true, but were especially true this year. Excuse me. And one is that like life is short, life is uncertain. You really don't know what's going to happen. And so you should appreciate the small things in life. Like those small things is really what shape your life. And, stop worrying about things that sometimes they really don't matter. Um, and just sort of cherishing the moments that you have and can experience. Um, and then because so many things happened this year, not just COVID, so many high profile deaths, so many like moments of civil unrest, of social movements like Black Lives Matter, NSAR, so many things happened this year. And that reminded me about the importance of empathy and kindness, and how it's really important for us to remember to practice empathy and to practice kindness for other people. Even just responding to COVID, the pandemic, it's practice and empathy. It is kind for you to wear your mask out in public. It is, kind for you to stay at home instead of doing what you want. All these people who are struggling, who have lost jobs and income, lost family members, you need to show empathy. You need to care about other people just like people should care about you. And it shouldn't have to happen to you directly for you to care about it. And there's so many examples of people not showing empathy this year that just reminded me how we still need that as human beings. Um, and then the last life lesson is the importance of rest and being still, which I still struggle with because I felt like I needed to be really productive this year. I needed to still follow and meet the goals that I set at the beginning of the year. I needed to be doing things. Otherwise, I'm not providing value, or I'm not, elevating my life in some way. Um, but sometimes you just have to be still. You just have to rest, really just sit and be okay with just being. Everything is not like this rat race or you have to hustle all the time. Sometimes you just need to sit still. And maybe you can think when you're sitting still and appreciate the things that you have, and um, kind of be in tune with what you're feeling and how you're feeling.
Yeah, when you were talking about, first of all, when you talked about empathy, and I was just thinking about that. Sometimes when things happen to other people, like this year when we started losing so many people, like everyone was dying, and it was like you're just seeing numbers. It was numbers that we were just seeing on TV and stuff like that. But when it happens to you now, then you see what the other people, what they're feeling. Because this year too, I happened to lose, like my cousin,
Mhm.
and it wasn't through COVID though, but it was, just losing, and it was closer to Thanksgiving. And then you start thinking, okay, God, why do I have to be thankful, for for life or for, like for everything. But then I think God did it in a way that He used it to show us that, like when you're watching, it's like you're watching the numbers. I remember there was a
Mhm.
time the numbers were just going up, going up, going up. And then, I mean, we forgot that, I mean, those are human beings that are dying, and those are, and they have families that really do care for them. But when it happens to you now, then you know what it feels like. Life, just changes. And I think that was one of the things too that God was, trying to show us this, because a lot of people lost, family members, maybe through COVID, maybe through other things, you
Yeah.
know, and it shows us to kind of like appreciate people to more, even while they are alive, and not when
Yeah.
you start celebrating their lives. And then when you were talking about the stillness, so I looked at it and I was thinking, like God used this year actually to kind of slow me down. I'm just saying slow everything in me, my brain, because it's like usually whenever I wake up, I always have a to-do list. My to-do list, I write it at night, and it's usually like 10, sometimes more. But
That's a lot.
yes, and then I just cross them, and when I cross them, I'm so happy. I'm like, okay, I just feel accomplished. But this year, I mean, there wasn't any more rush, when everything was shut down and you're inside, and all I had to was, read the word, like you pray. And well, I started doing this too because I felt like I needed to talk to people, like I needed to talk to people. But it's like I feel like my life is like so calm now,
Mhm.
because I look at it, I was like going into 2021, God, I want to keep it this way. I mean, I'm no longer needing that rush. Like I just, just get up from the time you wake up until the time you go to bed. You're doing something, you're in front of the computer, just trying to do. And then at the end of the day, you're just stressing yourself.
Yeah.
So, so when I look at it now, I'm like, I felt like I probably did more this year than I've ever done. Yeah, even with
Probably because your expectations for yourself were lower, so you probably were have more space to even think about what you really want to do and how you really want to spend your time. So that's really good.
yes. So yeah. So do you have any goals for this year?
Um, I'm still working on it, honestly. I found this program where it kind of guides you in reflecting on the last year in all areas of life, and um, thinking about what you did accomplish this year and what you didn't get to, and then now focusing on what you want to do for 2021. I think this year is different because it's following such a crazy year where a lot of things were disrupted. So I'm sort of reluctant to make, like, I don't know, very specific goals, but I
Mhm.
do want to be more intentional. So I would say I have this broad goal to be bold and brave. And to me, that is doing things that I've told myself I can't do yet, or I shouldn't do, or I don't know how to do. Just trying new things and being afraid to fail. Um, and that's with writing, with my career development, with the relationships that I build and strengthen, and just being bold and brave in those areas. And that's probably going to be my kind of theme for 2021 within whatever constraints we have, because we're still dealing with a pandemic. But I have to be
Yeah.
creative
Mhm.
in how I want to do that. Because this year, I plan, or not this year, 2020, I wanted to be out of the house. Like, I wanted to go and do things. I wanted to go to events. Wanted to date more. I wanted to do a lot of things. And I wasn't able to do it. So I didn't know how to be brave when the things I thought I wanted to be brave and I couldn't do anymore. So 2021 is time for me to be creative in how I want to be bold and brave, and what things I can do that's maybe not what I expected.
Yeah, wow. 20 you're talking about 2021 to be creative. I actually used actually 2020 actually brought out the creativity in me that
Hmm.
was already there, but it was like I just started. I learned so many new things, in 2020 that I'm actually bringing over to 2021. But when you were talking about, like the goals, haven't set one yet. Usually I'm someone that I will start setting goals in September. I mean, although most of them will probably not be accomplished, but I usually do that. But this year, I'm telling you, I waited till I would say towards the end of December, and I still didn't, set, specific goals because I was just thinking we are still, like you said, we're still in this pandemic. We don't even know what's going to happen. And, like how it is in the Bible how man plans. We just make our own plans. This is what we're going to do. Tomorrow we go here, do this, do that. But God is the one that will just decide if that's going to happen or not. So God can say, well, it's not going to happen. So it's like no matter what, how you see people and say, oh, they're so smart, they can do this, they can, because God allows it to happen. So this year too, I did the same thing. I was like, okay. So I just put, some things that I want to do, like I'm gonna do with my business with this, but I just put it. I'm like, God, whatever you say, I mean, let your will be done. If it
Hmm.
is, this is going to happen, let it happen. But if not, we still, just appreciate the fact that we are alive. I think my
Yeah.
number one goal also was like, God, I just want to be healthy. I want my family to be healthy. I want people around me to be healthy, and
Hmm.
I ask God also to, heal our land, like heal this pandemic so that
Yeah.
people can get on with life. Because without this, I mean, we're still going to be doing the same thing, kind of like struggling and all that. So
Yeah.
to leave, yeah. But yeah, so thank you so much, Uche. So yeah, so let's get on with the writing this year. Like write more. I'm actually gonna call you so we can get together because we need to, like do this more, write more, and then be bold. Just come out, yeah,
Yep.
and do
That is
that.
the goal. By God's grace, and just sort of trusting in Him and the skills and that He's equipped me with or given me. I have to practice my gifts. I have to practice the things that I'm interested in, or else I won't know what I can offer to people around me and to myself too.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Well, thank you, Uche. Thank you
Thank
for, I mean,
you.
taking up your time to talk to me, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Hope
Yes,
this day is good and a nice reset, I guess.
yes, yes, a nice reset. So we just, reset the button, and it's going to this year, we're going to have more peace,
Yes.
more joy, yeah,
Yes.
more stability, like I just move, walk with ease. So God
Mhm.
is going to do all that. Yes, yes. Okay. Talk to you later.